Hello everyone. So today we will talk about the history of vector calculus as the training data. Abstract. This paper will mainly focus on the history of vector calculus to explain. First of all, the paper will introduce the origin of calculus and what kind of analysis and judgment is made by some famous scientists, which will make the calculus, its subject, more deeply rooted. Some persuasive articles, such as Archimedes' circle measurement on the ball and the calendar, and the British scientist for Mr. Newton's Follow method and the infinite series is now the predecessor of calculus discipline. These articles, I will give you details in this article. Let more people know about the past of life of calculus. Calculus, as a subject, came into being in the 17th century. Its mainly meant content is divided into two parts: differential calculus and integral calculus. Yet the idea of differentiation and integration has been ground since ancient times. Around the 3rd century BC, Archimedes, a famous scholar of ancient Greece, implied many modern integral thoughts in his search and solution of the problems such as the area of parabolic arch, the area of sphere and sphere crown, and the volume of a rotating column. Limit theory, which is the basis of differential calculus, has been clearly discussed in ancient times. In the 17th century, people were faced with many scientific problems to solve, such as the problem of thinking instant speed, which appeared directly in the study of motion. The problem of finding the tangent line of the curve, etc. These problems also became the main reason to promote calculus. At this time, many famous mathematicians were working very hard to solve the problems mentioned above, almost to the point of forgetting to eat or sleep. The goal is to get people to solve problems quickly through calculus. In the next half century, on the basis of predecessor's work, the great British scientist Newton and the German mathematician Leibniz respectively studied and completed the establishment of calculus alone in their own country. In the creation of calculus, Leibniz and Newton can be said to be outstanding fruitful. For example, the great British scientist Sir Isaac Newton published a book called The Whole Number and the Infinite Series in 1671, which was not published until nearly half a century later in 1736. In this book, he pointed out the concept of variables, which are produced by the continuous motion of points, lines, and planes. He denied his previous belief that variables were static size of infinitesimal elements. He called the continuous variables follow momentum. and the derivatives of this solar momentum follow number. There are many outstanding contributions made by these two mathematicians in the field of calculus, which can be summarized as follows. They summed up the general methods to deal with various related problems, recognized reciprocal characteristics of quadrature, the tangent problem, but revealed the essential relationship between differential calculus and integral calculus. They established the fundamental theorem of calculus respectively and gave the concept rules of formulas and samples of calculus. With this theoretical knowledge as a premise for the further development of calculus has laid a solid and important foundation. The establishment of calculus has greatly promoted the development of mathematics in the past. Many problems that elementary mathematics is helpless to solve are often solved by using calculus, which shows the extraordinary power of calculus. It can be said that the birth calculus is a milestone event in the development of mathematics. What I want to tell you is that before calculus was developed, people were still in the poor agricultural civilization period, and many ordinary people did not know that there are so many interesting principles and theorems in the world. Calculus is another great mathematical creation after the emergence of analytic geometry. Calculus provided the fount of many new disciplines and added color to otherwise boring lives. The establishment of calculus is one of the greatest creations of human mind, and the highest state of human thinking that enriches people's daily life in the whole world because of the extent of calculus. It gave a whole set of scientific methods, opened up a new era of science, and thus strengthened and deepened the role of mathematics. The emergence of calculus not only has great scientific significance, but also has a dazzling influence on society. Because of calculus, you had the Industrial Revolution, you had the mass industrial production, so you had a modern society. With the help of calculus, the law of gravity was discovered. Calculus was a powerful demonstration of the mathematical design of the universe and destroyed the mysticism, superstition, and the theology that enveloped the heavenly bodies. All this show that the emergence of calculus is an unprecedented leap in the history of human knowledge. Through the detailed introduction above, we can also feel that calculus is absolutely at the forefront in the field of mathematics and even in the whole field of science. Every mathematical principle learned from primary school to high school is actually laying a solid foundation for calculus. From 17th century to the 28th century, the study and the discussion of calculus has never stopped, which is enough to show how far-reaching the influence of calculus in the world is.